welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I hope you guys are still enjoying maybe some holiday time off, because I'm recording this January 3rd and many of you still has some time off. So I'm hoping that you have amazing time with your family. But today I want to be talking about a topic that I feel like a lot of you are either terrified of or struggling with right now. I'm going to be talking about gaining weight during a reverse diet. First off, let me quickly explain what a reverse diet is in case you are not familiar with this word or term. Pretty much a reverse diet is when you slowly increase your intake after a long period of eating very low calories. It's pretty much designed to help you or help your metabolism recover and bring your body back to a healthy place where you can eat more food without gaining fat. This is something that we do with literally 95% of our clients in our program, because we do work with chronic dieters, people who's been chronically dieting pretty much their whole life, who has very little understanding about nutrition and just is under this impression that they have to eat less if they want to lose weight. So now, a lot of people who need to reverse diet have been stuck in this cycle of literally constantly cutting calories, trying different diets, and ending up eating super low calories, like one meal a day or 1,200 calories, and still not losing weight. So if it's you, this episode will be for you, and you're probably going to learn that reverse diet is something that you need in order to get out of this cycle, frustrating cycle, when you're trying you feel like you're doing so much, you're not eating a lot of food, yet you're not losing weight. The thing is, when you do this, when you cut yourself like, okay, I'm actually eating 1,200 calories and I'm not losing weight, so she's talking to me, you most likely are just maintaining at this very low calorie intake. And those calories are extremely low without you even understanding or acknowledging that. And the reason why it's not that, you're doing something wrong, that you cannot lose weight because you're eating 1,200 calories, because that's really not enough. The reason why you cannot lose weight is because your metabolism has adapted to literally just survive on less food. And this is something that it's called metabolic adaptation. Your body gets really efficient at running on very low calorie intake. What happens is that it slows down processes like digestion, hormone production, and even your energy levels, so it can keep your body can keep going on very, very little fuel. If I would explain this to you like a little kid to understand, what's actually happening is that your body is saying, okay, we are in survival mode. Let's conserve every bit of energy we can. That's literally what's happening. And now the problem is that staying in this state of, in this state it's pretty much like it's not sustainable long term. Like, you can't do this forever. A lot of women that we work with are going through this, and it's not only that they eat very low calorie intake, it's that they struggle with binge eating, because you can only go for so long to eat 1,200 calories until you hit the wall and pretty much your body says, or your brain says fuck it, and then you go and you eat 3,000 calories at night, and then you beat yourself up because you're like, how do I have no willpower to stick to my diet? It's because it's not sustainable long term, right? You are constantly tired, your workouts suffer, so you're not able to hit PRs, permanent personal records at the gym. I can even tell you how many our clients comes to us within like a few weeks of coaching, and they're like, oh my God, Martina, like, I'm able to lift so much more than I was in the last 5 years. I have my client, Natalia, if she's listening to this podcast, she's gonna know, she used to, or she still does, intense CrossFit workouts, and she was eating literally like 1,200 calories less than she's eating now after working with me for a year, and she has never been stronger at her workouts, CrossFit workouts, than she is now, because she's eating 1200 calories more daily compared to what she was eating before we met. That's insane, right? So like I said, you probably feel super exhausted all the time. Your workouts suffer, and it's just impossible for you to lose weight. You just feel like you're spinning wheels. And that's why reverse diet is so important. It helps you to rebuild your metabolism and just get your body to a place where you can eat more without gaining fat, and it prepares your body for successful fat loss phase. So but here is the part that freaks people out, and I know that's why I'm like, I need to record this episode also for my current clients, because 99% of them goes through reverse diet, so they will hear this and they're gonna love it, and they will learn more about what the process looks like. So like I said, there is a part that freaks people out, and that's the part that during the reverse diet, as you can increasing your calories, you might gain some weight. And I know that feels super discouraging, especially if you spend like years and years and years of dieting and cutting back on food, right? But I want to break this down for you and really just explain why this happens and why it's actually a good thing. So number one, I'm gonna say or talk about water retention. When you've been under eating for a long time, and I'm like talking, it could be also like 6 months, but for majority of people that we work with, it's literally like years. Like sometimes it's like 15 years and even more, which is like horrible, but it's very common, unfortunately. So when you've been under eating for a long time, your body doesn't store much glycogen, which is the energy stored in your muscles from carbohydrates, carbs that you eat. When you start eating more carbs during a reverse diet, which you will, because we don't teach keto our clients or carnivore, you're gonna be eating carbohydrates if you join our program, especially, your glycogen stores fills back up. For every gram, remember, write this down, for every gram of glycogen, your body stores anywhere between 3 to 4 grams of water. So when the scale goes up, it's not fat, right? It's just water weight from replenishing your energy stores. Because think about it, if you're eating, I don't know, 50 grams of carbs or 80 grams of carbs even, or even 100, it's still not enough. And all of a sudden you jump and start eating 50 grams more or 100 grams more. So you go from 100 to 200 grams of carbs more. Yes, the scale's gonna go up because of the glycogen, but it has nothing to do with fat. That's why I will say one thing, that measuring your progress just by looking at the scale is the worst thing you can do. And not only just in reverse diet, it could be when you're trying to do a body recomposition, right? Like when you're trying to build a muscle, the scale's gonna go up because you're putting on lean muscle mass, most likely along with some fat if you're doing like a clean bulk, but that's a topic for another day. But the reason number one why the scale goes up is because of the glycogen. This comes from carbs that you're eating and increasing in your diet. Reason number two is more food volume. So if you're used to eating very small, tiny meal, one meal a day, for example, or even like very, very little, like super low calorie meals in general, your digestive system has been working very little. That's just clear, right? And as you start eating more, there is simply more food sitting in your digestive system. So that extra volume can make you feel heavier and sometimes even bloated, but that's just temporary, guys. Like if you start eating more, of course your body is going through a lot of changes, and it's literally just your body adjusting to the increased intake, and it's only temporarily. It's usually disappears within few weeks, so you just have to be patient with this process. Another big one is the hormonal recovery, your hormones. When you've been eating very, very low calories, your body suppresses important hormones like leptin, which is regulates your hunger, your ghrelin, hunger hormone, ghrelin, your leptin, thyroid hormones, which controls your metabolism. And as you're increasing food, those hormones starts almost like waking up and recovering. But this process takes, again, a lot of time, right? While your body is healing, it might hold on to a bit of water as it rebuilds almost trust that food is constantly coming in. The one thing I will say is, if you go through this process and whenever hopefully you have guidance, right? Because it's not easy to go through reverse diet without any sort of guidance. You have to always ask yourself, like, okay, I'm very frustrated because all I want is to lose weight, but how long did it take me to get here, right? Like maybe you've been struggling for 5+ years or even like a year or 2 years to lose weight, and you're doing all the things that weren't benefiting you and your goals, slash like under eating, doing diets, like jumping from one to another, right? So just be patient. I know that that's the word that people don't want to hear. Personally, myself, like I'm the least patient person you've ever met, but just allow your body to heal properly and try to not rush the process. Otherwise, you're going to be, again, spinning the wheels and you're just going to appear at the same point, or however you want to say that. I don't know, sometimes my English and I'm trying to find the words that will explain what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean. Square one. You're gonna be at the square one. That's what I was trying to say. So another thing is that your metabolism really doesn't instantly speed up when you start eating more. It just unfortunately doesn't work like that. You can't expect to up your food for a week and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, like my metabolism is burning machine, yay me. No, that doesn't work like that. It really takes time for your body to adapt to the higher calorie intake and just overall adjust to functioning at a more sustainable level. And during this period, while you are recovering, like you're in this healing phase, it's very normal to see the fluctuations on the scale. Like I talk about it all the time, that the fat loss overall is not linear. Like there are days when the scale jumps up regardless of how well you follow your plan, and the next day the scale is down 3 pounds, right? So the weight fluctuations are very normal in all phases, whether you are in fat loss, whether you are at maintenance or reverse diet. Now I'm gonna talk about, I really want to empathize, guys, on this. The weight you are seeing on the scale, most likely, not in all cases, but most likely isn't fat gain. It's literally your body healing from years of under eating and stress, because under eating causes your body to produce cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And while the right amount of cortisol is good for us, when it's too much of it, that can make a pretty hinder our progress in any ways, right? Whether you're in fat loss phase and you're stressed the fuck out, then you can say goodbye to seeing any fat loss, because you need to be able to manage your stress. So your body is healing from years of under eating and stress. Not eating causes your body to increase the cortisol, like I said, which is the stress, right? So think of this phase as, I always say, it's your foundation. It's your healing process, healing journey. It's setting you up for long-term success, even if it's super frustrating in the moment. And like I'm telling you, 99% of our clients goes through reverse diet. And I always tell them at the beginning of the calls that we have with them, when we are doing kickoff calls with them and going over their programs, and I know that they are going to be doing reverse diet, I always tell them, like, lean on me, like message me when you're feeling some type of way, because I know there are going to be days where you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, I just don't want to do this. So like, why do I have to eat more? Like the scale doesn't move. I feel fat. Like I feel, bloated. Like I don't feel great. I always tell everyone that this is going to happen, and I'm preparing them for that, because I know that the reverse diet is extremely mentally hard. But now this is the part that I really want to empathize with you, what to focus on during a reverse diet. And if you're someone who is going through this phase, please mark this down, write it down. It's going to be super helpful for you. So first thing that I want you to focus on is just trusting the process. Your body needs time to recover, and this is just part of the journey. It's just how it is. Like if you're gonna be continuing doing the same thing you've been doing for the last years, not being able to lose weight, you of course need to change something. Like you can be doing the same thing over and over and expect different outcome. So if you know, hey, I need a reverse diet, I've been eating like a bird for the last few years, then just expect that it's gonna take some time and just trust the process. Now, look beyond the scale. What I mean by that, are you feeling more energetic? Like, do you have more energy on a daily basis? Are your workouts improving? Like, do you go to the gym and feel like you can lift heavier weights? Are you sleeping better? These are all signs your body is healing and your metabolism is improving. Very often, we get clients comes to us and say, I'm less bitchy. Like my husband told me that I'm so much nicer, and I don't yell at my kids that much because you're not hangry anymore, right? So look beyond the scale. Don't focus on a fat loss because you're not in a fat loss phase. You're in this healing foundational phase. And the one thing that I'm going to repeat again, really just be patient, because the weight gain you're seeing now is just temporarily. Like I said, most likely it's just probably not even fat. Like majority of the time when we walk our clients through reverse diet, they don't gain a lot of fat, but it really depends on how metabolically adapted you are and how long you've been under eating. But in most cases, they even start seeing like body recompositions, like they start losing fat and they are putting on more muscle because you're finally eating enough to support the muscle growth that is paired with a proper strength training, right? So be patient, because like I said, the weight gain you're seeing is just temporary. As your metabolism slowly stabilizes, your body will reach a point where you can maintain your weight on way higher calories. And tell me, guys, like who wouldn't like to be eating 2,500 calories and maintain its weight? Like that's what we want. Ultimately, the goal is not to eat as little as possible and maintain weight. The goal is always to eat as much as possible while you're maintaining your weight, right? So that's what we want. Like at my maintenance, I'm 5'8", around 170 pounds right now, but I am maintaining my weight when I'm eating around 2,500 calories. When I used to struggle with eating disorder, I was maintaining my weight eating 1,600, 1,700 because I was constantly trying to undereat, right? What you're doing in the reverse diet is that you're just simply giving your body enough fuel that it needs to function and its best, and setting yourself up for long-term health and more importantly, sustainability. That's what all we want. Because the problem with diets and like eating as little as possible it's something that we view as like temporarily, right? Like whenever you start some drastic diet, the first thing that you think about is like when this is going to end. Like how long do I need to starve myself? How long do I need to be cutting all these favorite foods of mine out, right? Like that's not what you want to be doing your whole life. And reverse diet helps you to get out of this cycle so you can have the freedom of eating more food while you're maintaining your weight. You're giving your body, I said that you're giving your body the fuel, right? So a lot of clients, or some clients, like I said, when they go through this process, they start losing fat. And if they don't, they know that there is an end, right? There is the light at the end of the tunnel where they know that, okay, once I finish this healing phase, I'm gonna get to the point where my body can successfully lose weight and I don't have to starve myself. I literally, as I'm recording this, we're starting about like 6 of our clients start fat loss phase next week on Monday, right? And they are all the people who's been going through a reverse diet for 6+ months, right? I just have a client who's been with me for, I think, year and 2 months or 3 months, and she just entered fat loss phase. Listen to this. I just said 12 or 13 months or something like that. She's been reversing. And she hired me to help her to lose weight, but she was so severely under eating that I just simply couldn't drop her calories and be like, here you go, eat 1,000 calories because you've been already plateauing eating 1,500. Like, that's not what we do. We want to do it the right way. These people know the purpose of why we are doing this, and I think that is very important to understand the purpose behind, because if we don't explain to them, this is why we are doing this, this is what we are looking at, these are the results, these are the markers of success for us along the way, no one's going to believe that this is something that they need to do in order to lose weight later on, because it's pretty much about, hey, I'm hiring you to help me to lose weight, but all you're doing right now is just feeding me with more food. Like, what the hell? It makes no sense. It makes no sense to people who's been dieting their whole life, like myself before, because no one explained it to me that I need to actually eat more in order to be able to lose weight and keep it off forever, right? So if you're currently going through this, or you're scared to reverse diet or start reversing because of the scale, I really hope that this gives you some clarity and reassurance, my English again, because you need to understand why you need to do this, the purpose, the outcome, and the potential things that can happen along the way, right? In most cases, guys, there are 3 things that can happen in reverse diet, and I'm going to touch on them really, really quickly. Number 1, and I'm going to talk for like my experience with our clients. Like I said, I've coached over 400 individuals right now, and 99% of them went through this process. So 80% of all of our clients, generally speaking, maintain their weight while they're reversing. And I'm talking about literally starting at 1,000 calories and like bringing them all the way to like 2,200, 2,500. So some of our clients eat like 1,000+ calories a day while they are maintaining their weight. The number 2 reason that can happen in reverse is that you lose weight. These people we call hyper responders, which means that you eat more and your body just kicks in and your metabolism starts speeding up and you start burning fat or you start losing fat while you're eating more food. We have several clients who has experienced that. It is amazing, but we can't really guarantee that because it really comes down to how metabolically adapted you are, how long you've been dieting, what kind of diets you've been doing, and how much damage you've caused to your body by actually following these stupid nonsense diets. So there's really no guarantee, and I can't really promise you that that's going to be you. But we've had a lot of clients. Like, I've had a client who went through a reverse diet, going from eating like 1,200 calories to, at her maintenance, she was at like 2,550. And she lost 40 pounds. So that was pretty freaking awesome. And the third thing that can happen is that you gain weight. And unfortunately, as well as you are following your plan, there is a possibility that if you're extremely metabolically adapted, you will pack on a little bit of fat along the way. But if it happens, I just gonna say that just think of like, okay, this is just temporary. I am doing this the right way and I will lose the weight afterwards. But obviously that comes with proper guidance. That's why I said going through reverse diet, highly recommend you to have a coach because it is very mentally exhausting and hard, and you just want to make sure that you're doing it the right way. So you might also have question. Now I'm just thinking from on top of my head, like how long reverse diet takes. I don't know. Like the answer is just I don't know, because like again, depends on how metabolically adapted you are. Like, have you been plateauing for only like 6 months and you're like eating maybe just few hundred calories below your maintenance, like your maintenance is 2000 calories and you're eating 1700, 1800, then it's not going to take long, right? Ideally, you want to be increasing your food on weekly basis, whether it's 100 calories or 50 calories a week, and slowly getting yourself back to your maintenance. Obviously, having customized macros, making sure that you're not jumping from eating 50 grams of protein a day to 150, because you're not gonna have a good time in the bathroom if you will do that. You have to do it progressively, like slowly. So it really depends on each person, so there is no specific answer to that. Like, I don't know, we've had clients who were done in 2 months in reverse. We've had clients, like I just mentioned, like my other client, she's been reversing for like 13 months because she's just been under eating like crazy. I've had another client who's been in reverse for like a year and a half, right? But the thing with these people is because they're so well educated, because that's what we do in our program, that they really understand and they enjoy the whole process, although they're not losing fat yet, because they know that once we enter fat loss phase, that's where the magic happens. And it's really important to be looking at your biofeedback and just understanding that the reverse diet is not about losing fat. So ideally, I would suggest you going through this process, just take your scale and hide it in a closet, or tell your spouse, hey, can you hide this? Because a lot of us are addicted to that little tool that frustrates the heck out of us every single morning when we step on it. So in the reverse diet, literally majority of our clients are not allowed to weigh themselves, because you're not in a fat loss phase. So you're just only going to be frustrated every time you step on the scale and you don't see the scale go down. But that's not the purpose of this phase, right? So I think that's it, guys. I really enjoyed this topic because it's just something that I'm very passionate about, because it's literally just helping people to get out of the cycle of dieting and losing the same 10-20 pounds over and over. If you got any questions or you need help with your reverse diet, just send me a message on my social media. My Instagram is Martina_fit_YYC, or just anywhere on Facebook if you want. Just send me a message. I'm here to help you and navigate you through this process and make it as smooth as possible, because it's not easy. But that's it for today, guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, enjoy all the food in moderation, and till next time, I'll catch you in the next episode, and I talk to you soon. Bye.